internet search is over. You found Ron and Fez.
Ronnie, I was relieved to see this article in the paper today. Billy Joel says he's not an alcoholic. Thank God.
Yeah, great.
So Billy Joel, he's talking to Katie Couric for NBC's Dateline, and he says, yes, he's an alcohol abuser. He abuses alcohol, but he's not an alcoholic.
Now, what would be the big difference there?
I have no idea. He goes, I can abuse alcohol if the demons get me. I'll go on a bender. That's why I went into rehab. I was on a binge. And he says, and then I stopped. I guess the fact that he thinks since he went into rehab and he stopped, that means he's not an alcoholic.
Now, does he still drink? I mean, is he the type of person to have a beer now and then or a cocktail?
He says he's cooled that out. Now, to me, that doesn't sound like he's done with it.
It sounds like somebody's skating, does he? He's just skating away. I mean, once you come out of rehab, you're pretty sure you're an alcoholic, right?
Yeah, I mean, that's going into rehab. I would think you're making that step to admitting that. He's done everything but say he's an alcoholic.
Now, and most people would think to themselves here, hey, I'm in rehab. I've been drunk for weeks. I must be an alcoholic. Not, hey, just an abuser. Here's Max. Max wants to tell us the difference. Max, you're on Fez.
Hey, Max.
Hey, Uncle Ron. Hey, Fez.
Hey,
listen,
hello.
you guys. It's easy. The abuser versus the alcoholic thing. When you were in college and you drank all the time, and you drank, if you had a drink, you had too many drinks. You're abusing alcohol, but you don't need it the way Billy Staples needs alcohol, drugs, food, sympathy, attention, that kind of stuff.
All right, so you're saying just a guy who gets whacked out on Saturday nights.
Yeah, or whenever he and or she decides to go out and hammer down.
Yeah.
They abuse it. They're going to drink too much of it. But they don't need it. They can go for weeks without it. They don't ever wake up and say, because they don't have the shakes, they don't need to get hammer time. They just go out and pound it.
Yeah, but all right, we're going to check with Billy Staples, who normally knows most about this. But
now, first of all, he's going to give you such a backwards-ass, twisted version because he's going to make it all about himself, first of all.
Yeah, don't make this all about yourself, Billy.
Make it about Billy Joel, not Billy Staples.
And, there's a big difference between, hey, I'm on a binge when I'm 22, and I'm on a binge when I'm 50, like Billy is.
Yeah, if you decide you have to go on a bender, and that's what Billy Joel said, at his age, that seems like a problem.
And you're still showing up at spring break, and you're getting hammered. All right, 866-277-4969. Billy Staples, what's the difference between an abuser and an alcoholic?
Well, an alcoholic is someone who cannot stop their drinking no matter what without help. An abuser is someone who will go over the line occasionally, but knows where the line is and can stop once they've picked up that first drink.
All right, what do you think, Billy Joel?
It's really not unfair to label someone, but if I had to guess, I would definitely think he's an alcoholic.
All right, so you're being unfair in your labeling.
Yeah, well, I was asked a question, I answered it.
What have you rubbed in your hair tonight? Butter?
What the hell is the new look?
Dippity-doo is what it looks like.
It's a dippity-don't.
It's just a little wet from the car ride.
Did you come in a submarine?
No. From when I was driving in, it was all wind blowing and stuff, so I just put a little water in it to kind of straighten it out a little bit.
No, this thing has got little kinks in it like there's dippity-doo.
You've gone for the Caesar look. Everything's straight down, but it's all little ringlets.
Well, when my hair gets longer, I get the William Cat look. Like the greatest American hero.
All right, Billy, so you're saying maybe he's just an abuser, but why would somebody who just pounds drinks every once in a while go to rehab?
Because it's usually rehab is when you pound for a while and you finally sober up and you wake up and you come to your senses and you're like, oh my God, what did I do? I'm in trouble. I mean, I've got a problem. And that is when you decide, you know what, I need a quick fix. I need to get out of this. So you check yourself into a rehab, you do what you got to do. You go, I can do this, I can do. A couple of meetings, a couple of months on the outside, you go to your meetings, and then it's like, I really don't need as many meetings. Oh, I can have a cocktail now and then. I can drink one or two.
To me, that sounds like a guy who can't quit, if you're at that point.
Yeah, without a doubt. If you think you can control drinking, that is a sign of an alcoholic. And one of the things they say is, If you have doubts that you're an alcoholic, try control drinking for a year. See what happens.
All right, here's Matt. Matt, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, Matt.
Hey, how you guys doing, Ron and Fez? Love your show. I think that Billy Joel is an alcoholic. I just got out of rehab for, we all know what that is, but,
Sure, you got the horse, you're riding that pole.
yeah, that's right, exactly.
Let me just say
Mac, man.
that don't make a bad person.
Yeah, it made me pretty strong in a lot of different ways, but let me just say, if Billy Joel thinks that he might be an alcoholic, chances are it probably is an alcoholic. And, there's no such thing as a social drinker. If you drink to get drunk, you're an alcoholic. And if you don't take that first drink, you won't get drunk. So I really think that Billy Joel has a problem. He did to his Mercedes.
All right, you're saying anybody who drinks to get drunk is an alcoholic.
I mean, I have a lot of folks go out and party, and don't get me wrong, I still do too. I just turned 24, and they're alcoholics. Maybe it's not so severe as others, but
Matt, excuse me, but aren't you supposed to refrain from alcohol?
Yeah. I don't drink alcohol anymore or anything. I don't smoke pot. I don't do anything, but I still go out and be social with a lot of my friends.
What do you do? Just snort the H? That's the best thing to do, or maybe skin pop a little bit.
No, I mainlined it most of the time.
Yeah, that don't make Gibson. All right, thanks, my friend.
I appreciate Ron and Fez.
All right, buddy. There's Matt. He's straight out of alcohol, out of rehab. When you get out of rehab, you pretty much see evidence of being an alcoholic, don't you, Billy?
Yeah, it's like, to use a reference, it's like gay people. They always think everyone's gay. You know, it's like when you're...
Is that true, Fez?
How would I know?
I thought you were,
What?
You become very aware. It's like you get your spidey sense, shall we, toward alcoholism. Notice how much drinks people take, how quickly they drink a drink, how much they order. Are they doing shots? I mean,
did you come out of your first rehab all cocky?
Oh, I totally. It's called the Pink Cloud. Come out like, I'm going
Pink elephants to Staples story.
Too much. And then it's like, I feel great. I can conquer this. I'm going to meetings. That's wonderful. Life's going to be better. And that wears off after a while.
Hey, Kevin, you're on Fez.
Hey, Kev.
What's up, buddies?
Hey, my buddy.
Hey, I want to know, if Billy Joel's an alcoholic, what does that make Billy Staples?
Super alcoholic.
Billy Staples, 5-time loser, right, Billy?
5-time rehabber, many more time relapser.
Can you count the relapses?
No.
Yeah.
You partying today?
No.
Because anytime you cut your hair down, we know that...
Actually,
And you wet your hair using the bathroom in this building, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Ronnie, if you go into the men's room, the middle sink, it looks like someone had it carpeted. There's so much hair in it.
Yeah, he was in there washing his hair next to Rather to get ready for a show.
I just say first washing my hair with a wet head, and when I drive with the sunroof down and stuff, and my hair's just like total cockamamie. So I just
cockamamie.
It was all over the place.
Hair can never be cockamamie.
That means it's nonsense.
Oh, it looked like that. Terrible. So I just tried to spiff it up a little bit.
We appreciate it. Now you got a dent in your chin where your pus sack got lanced today.
No, I didn't even get lanced. I got a needle and I got 9 pricks in my...
All right. We're not supposed to isolate that. He was at tomorrow during the opening?
Well, no, he had 1 needle and he had to go into it 9 times with 9 different shots of cortisone.
Now instead of a lump, you have a dent.
And it's like, I go, why don't you just cut the thing open and drain it? He goes, well, different scar tissue will come, and that'll make different scar tissue, and then that scar tissue won't go away.
Right, he's the stupid one, not the one walking around with a big pus sack on his chin.
Because I'm
the
like...
guy with the medical degree is the idiot.
Dippity-doo and skin tags on his dink.
But good luck.
But the other guy's a moron.
Well, because he goes, well, I'll give you 4 times the strength cortisone this time, and I'll give you more of it. I said, well, I'm like, why didn't you do that in the first place? Well, it takes more than 1 treatment. Well, no, not if you do it right the first time.
I don't even know what you're talking about.
The cortisone shots into my pus sack.
No, I mean, by that point is anything that you're saying I've just turned off.
Oh. Why?
You bore me.
Because we're talking about Billy Joel. The whole thing was not to make this about you.
And remember when that caller said that? He will just make it about him. And now I'm hearing about his stupid doctor.
Now we got lectures on cortisone shots.
I didn't bring up the pus sack.
The big news, Billy, is that Billy Joel says he's not an alcoholic.
Denial.
Is that just a river in Egypt?
No. That is an actual alcoholic fact.
No.
Anybody who goes to rehab learns about the disease, So Billy Joel learned it. He knows he's an alcoholic, but he just doesn't want to admit it.
How do you know?
I have a sense about it. I know. I've been there.
Spidey sense again?
Yeah. Look, I've been there. I mean, okay.
Cider sense.
I've been in Billy Joel's shoes.
No, you haven't. He's a successful drunk.
You've got alcoholic cider sense.
You're the reason why people like him go, I can't be an alcoholic. Look at this loser next to me.
Alcoholism affects you at all different levels. You don't have to be the bottom end. Billy Joel is obviously not the bottom end yet.
You are.
Not yet. I'm not on the Bowery, but begging.
If we look at the alcoholic spectrum, we see Billy Joel at one end, Billy Staples at the other.
Billy, the only way you're not in the Bowery is because your mom took you in.
Well, I still have a job.
This is a goodbye week.
It's Shark Week on Ron and Fez.
Well, at the time.
Yeah, at the time.
So you don't believe the big news announcement that Billy Joel says, I'm not an alcoholic?
No, not in the least. Not in the least. You don't go wait for that amount of time and get cured. There's no cure for alcoholism. He was an alcoholic when he went to rehab, and all of a sudden a little angel came down and said, poof, you're not an alcoholic anymore?
I thought you guys believed in a higher power.
Yeah, but they don't come down from heaven and cure you.
How do you know?
Then I'd be cured. I've prayed enough, for God's sake. I prayed to the little bird that comes down with the prayers.
What's he talking about?
I think he's trying to say the Holy Spirit is a little bird.
I think he has DTs.
His hair does.
He saw a chicken and said, my liege.
So once an alcoholic, always an alcoholic. You can't change your stripes.
An alcoholic has stripes?
Hopefully for you, they're not horizontal. They make you look hippie.
All right, let me just check. How many Xanax did you eat today?
None.
Really?
None.
A little boy, here's you.
Seriously. Because tonight is the Xanax night, we could tell.
Yes, but I have not taken any Xanax today.
How many you plan on taking tonight?
I don't know. And Rory can attest to my anger in the car that I did not take a Xanax.
Why were you so mad?
Life. Traffic, people, idiots on the road.
How many Xanax did you bring with you?
My whole bottle. Whatever.
Why do you feel the need?
He wears it like a scuba tank. That bottle's like a scuba tank strapped to his back.
Why do you feel the need to have 100 on you at all times?
Oh, no. I carry them in my briefcase.
That's his office. His mobile office.
It's not like I have them in my hip
Mobile
pocket.
pharmacy.
I don't have them in my hip pocket. I carry them in my briefcase. Because you never know when the moment will strike.
I thought they were supposed to be taken at prescribed times of the day, not when the moment strikes. Not when the mood comes about.
Not when the vampire in you starts to turn.
Not when the moon is full.
The only thing that actually could cure you is a silver bullet through your heart.
I'm not a wolf man.
Yet.
I mean, of course, light.
866-277-4969. Bobby, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, Bob.
Hey, I just want to back up Billy. He's right. Once you're an alcoholic, you're always an alcoholic. It genetically changes you to the point where, one drink will cause you to relapse, and you can pass it on to your kids.
You're a mutant. Your DNA has changed.
That's why when you hear about people who are addicted to marijuana, like true addiction, like heroin is addicted to them, it's because they're alcoholics and their parents probably were both alcoholics. But it's real rare, but alcoholism is forever.
Addiction is a many-faceted subject. It doesn't matter what the drug of choice is.
Like Xanax?
Not if it's prescribed.
You are not following along with your own logic. You're sitting here saying, I cannot handle drugs and alcohol. And yet you're saying because some quack prescribed you Xanax, you can take it and be fine with it.
Would you take Quaaludes?
Yeah, prescribed.
No, I don't think that would help me with my anxiety. That's a downer, isn't it? I've never taken a
What's
Quaalude.
Xanax? It's not a pet pill.
It's an anti-anxiety pill, which I am being weaned off of.
You're being weaned onto solid food.
I'm being weaned. I've begun the weaning process of my Xanax.
Hey, Dave, you're on Ron and Fez.
Who's the wiener?
Hey, Ron and Fez, Billy's full of crap.
Okay. How?
I've been to rehab. I went in for coke. I came back out. I still drink. I'm not an alcoholic. Billy Joel's not an alcoholic either. He likes to have a drink every now and then. Big deal.
Yeah, what's the big deal?
Yeah, you went to rehab for coke. You still doing coke?
I don't do coke. It costs too much money.
Okay, so that's not what you went to. Billy Joel went to rehab for alcohol.
Yeah,
He
but
went to have a break.
Yeah, you need a little break to get away from his own music.
That sounds good.
They're going to Bermuda.
I got to be drunk. They still play it there. I got to be drunk just to hear his music. I got to be whacked out before somebody puts on a Billy Joel album.
Moving out.
All right, we'll take a break. We're right back. 866-277-4969. Ron and Fez.
We're back. We're Ron and Fez on 106.7 WJFK. Toll-free phone number 866-277-4969. Before the break, talking about Billy Joel insisting that, yes, he may abuse alcohol, but he's not an alcoholic.
And, Fez, that's great news to have. He just parties hard.
It's nice when they can make that announcement on NBC News.
Yeah. This just in, Billy Joel, not an alcoholic.
And in other news, Osama bin Laden says, I'm not a terrorist.
Wow, we thought he was. He's just a terror abuser.
Billy Joel says, I'm not an alcoholic. And in other news, Star Jones says, I'm not fat.
She's just a donut abuser.
And see how it works?
Oh.
In other news, the guy stuck under the boulder says, I'm not an amputee.
He's just a penknife abuser.
And he really did abuse that penknife.
Yeah, he did. That's wrong.
In other news, Deanna Lejeune says, I'm not a bad mom.
She's just a child abuser.
She actually took the boulder the other guy chipped away at and hit her kids in the head with it. And
this is all good news.
Yeah. Now that Billy Joel has announced that I'm not an alcoholic, we can wait for the others. Like, in other news, Liz Taylor says, I'm not a divorcee.
I'm a husband abuser.
That's how it works.
It's that simple, folks.
In other news, Robert Blake says, I'm not sitting in jail.
He's just an ex-wife abuser. I don't think he is in jail again. Is he out yet?
I think he's still sitting there.
Wow. Bobby.
I think he is. 866-277-4969 is the toll-free phone number. As we get this good news about Billy Joel not being an alcoholic.
Oh, it is good news, isn't it?
And in other news, Nathan Lane says, I'm not someone who digs guys.
He's just a penile abuser. What is it, Harry?
In other news, Jim Carrey says, I don't make a lot of funny faces.
Did I look like I was switching partners? Is that the whole thing here? That I was in some kind of trouble with Fez and I needed you to come running in?
And you didn't do the news voice.
In other news, Bobby Knight says I didn't get fired from Indiana.
All right, Fez, could you get up and let Harry have your seat?
That would be fine with me.
Is that what you want, Harry? Just me and you to do the show together one night?
No, I think Fez is fantastic. I was just trying to sort of add.
Isn't that fantastic?
You're standing in front of him.
I didn't mean to. I thought I was, helping add something.
I didn't pick up any of that.
Oh, okay. Well.
Fez, show him how it's done.
In other news, Simon Cowell says, I'm not British or snotty.
He's just an idle abuser. By the way, I'm going for the non-black guy tonight.
Really, Clay?
Yeah, I don't know his name.
Yeah, Skinny Clay.
Yeah. I just think America votes, right? Isn't that how it happens?
Yeah. And the phone lines are going to stay open an extra hour tonight, I think.
The judges don't pick?
I think it's all off the phone lines.
I think America's going to vote for the white guy. I think that's just the way this country is. We might as well have a black president if they're going to let this guy in.
It'll be Ruben versus Clay, and they say they want to make a movie like Justin and Kelly did after this is done.
Make it a love story.
I think they could.
Personally, I'm voting for Ruben. You know why?
Why?
We'll do the 205.
You're from Birmingham?
No, just the numbers.
Oh. They said they actually want to do a Laurel and Hardy movie when they're done.
Does the little guy remind you exactly of Marty Short?
Oh, yeah, he does. Little Clay looks just like Martin Short.
Now, do they get to pick what they sing tonight, or?
No. The selections are picked for them, and those are, really secret, I think.
So when did they announce tonight, or?
No, they're going to do the show tonight, and then they'll announce tomorrow. So I think you start voting tonight after the show. And then they tabulate everything, and they announce it tomorrow. I believe that's how it's working.
Do we have one guy that could sing and maybe get on that show?
Oh, no. Not whatsoever.
Only the Hawk.
Just the Hawk. The hawk had a voice like a dove.
Oh, could he sing? Oh, could he sing? He'd wake me up in the morning, just chirping.
Just outside your window. And then I'd say, why are you standing there? It's really scary.
Well, I don't know. And something else ends tonight, too, right, Buffy?
Oh, Buffy the Vampire Slayer's done tonight?
Yeah.
And Mr. Personality?
I want to try to catch up on this Buffy thing. I haven't seen any yet.
I don't think you're going to be able to catch up with it now.
You know the weird thing? I never watched one Buffy the Vampire, but I did see the movie.
Oh, yeah, I saw the movie with Pee-wee.
It's terrible. So I never gave the TV show a try.
And then the movie Buffy ended up getting arrested for something, some sort of drunk driving, although she's not an alcoholic.
From what I understood, she can get arrested in this business.
And then everyone had to stop because they saw Buffy was arrested and they thought it was the TV Buffy.
I thought it was Buffy from Family Affair. Well, that's the one I want to see come back.
Oh, it's going to be a little hard to get that one back.
So what's the story on Buffy? She's a vampire?
She's a vampire slayer.
How many years has this show been on?
5? Like 5 or 6? I guess it's been on for a while.
How many vampires has she slain?
Oh, I would imagine plenty. I tried to watch it one time because someone said, hey, watch this show. It's really, really great. And I couldn't believe it because they were punching people. They were punching women right in their faces.
Well, now I do want to see it.
And I'm thinking, what? I'm going, how does this get on every week? All I'm seeing is high school girls get punched in the face.
That sounds like the Ray and Elvis show.
Like Wacky Wally showing up at high school and just smacking people right across their chops.
I think we'll play that this week.
Oh, good. Yay.
Yay.
Yay for Ray and Elvis. 866-277-4969. Now, I like this about the Billy Joel interview. Katie Couric asked him about his ex-wife, Christy Brinkley, saying, hey, you wrecked the car, and then she went out and took pictures of it, and she was all upset, saying, I don't want my daughter in this car.
Yeah.
And she pointed to the passenger side that was all smashed in and said, my daughter was sitting right there a couple hours ago. And Billy Joel told Katie Couric, she wasn't sitting there, she was sitting there. Like it's any better. Like he pointed towards the back seat or something.
Why would she be in the back?
I have no idea. But his point is she would have been fine because she wasn't sitting in the seat that Christy said she was.
Was he so drunk that he put his daughter in the back seat like, honey, there's no way you want to ride up in this death seat.
He's got her in a baby seat back there.
Daddy's a little sleepy. It's slippery driving time. You love slippery, Daddy, right? When I'm driving slippery style.
So that's what I love. He goes, first of all, Katie, it wasn't that seat, it was a different seat.
Did your dad ever drive drunk with you?
My dad drove drunk one time, not with us.
My dad, when we would go on vacation, my feet would actually be on a cooler. And,
really?
Yeah. No matter where we went, because that was his vacation. And literally, I can remember, lift your feet while he's digging through the ice for another Valentine.
Nice.
My dad would actually have us peel the top off it, not the twist off or the actual tab.
Oh, when you actually had the old pull tabs.
Yeah, the old tabs where you had to actually peel it off. So he'd be like, "Can you just pop me open a beer?"
Was that a big mouth?
Yeah, I believe it was. I mean, I was really, really young. I was probably 4 years old. He's having me open a beer for him while I'm sitting next to him in a baby seat. It was horrible. But I guess back then, it was no big deal to drink and drive.
Yeah, I guess not. No, we were never scared.
Yeah, he would just sit there and drink the beer like it was just a soda. And like it's not like he was hiding it or putting it in a bag or anything.
Everybody, the neighbor dad, he used to drive us around, and he constantly had a beer in that truck.
I saw my parents drinking highballs that my mom would mix while they drove down the road. And she would literally...
What a steady hand.
I'm not even making this up. They had like a little flask. And I would see her bring... like the glove box down, like basically it was a little bar. And I even saw them setting up like cheese and crackers up there. And they're just cruising along, having the time of their life.
That actually reminds me, because my mom used to pop wine up in the front seat, actually take a cork and pop the wine bottle open, pour herself actually in a glass, not like a cup or anything,
right,
in an actual glass, and just sip the wine like she was sitting at a cocktail lounge or something.
The mobile party. And those people would always the floor would have the beer can still on it.
Oh, no. My dad was in a convertible. He'd just throw it right out the side.
Oh, nice.
He would just throw it right out the
Litter
top.
bug.
And your dad was a judge, right?
Yeah, I probably shouldn't be incriminating like this, but
Well,
I mean,
like you said, those are different days.
yeah, I mean, this was years ago, so.
And men could drive in those days. I don't know what happens to people now. You know, you get a .2, and all of a sudden you're driving off the road like an idiot.
Yeah, and we'd go actually pretty far, too. Like, we'd drive, like, to our summer house, which is like an hour away.
And it was sick.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like we were driving around the block to go get more beer. We were going home, like, from vacation or something like that. And I always remember the picture of him driving in a convertible with his arm around, like, the side of the chair, like it was an old caddy, and having a beer in his left hand and a cigarette while he's holding onto the wheel. This could not be safe.
Wait a minute. He's run out of hands at that point.
Exactly.
Then your mom would lean over and give General Skull.
Ah, those were the days.
I didn't see that part.
You were in the baby seat.
Maybe that wasn't your mom then. 866-277-4969. Jim, you're on the Ron and Fez show.
Hey, Jim.
Hey, buddies. How you doing?
Cool,
Good, pal.
Just want to let you know, tonight's the season under of 24.
I also never saw this one before either.
You guys ever watch that show?
Never watched 24 even once.
I got the DVD of the first season where it's like 24 hours straight, and I actually tried watching it straight. And I
see his day.
And I wanted to see his day to see if I could last as long as he did, and I made it 9 hours and just had to go to sleep. And it's a pretty interesting show. I was actually very impressed, but I still never got to finish the first season. So I have no idea what happens.
You know, it deals over, a 24-hour period. And thing is, guys never go to the bathroom.
I know. At some point, a couple minutes out of that day has got to be a dump.
Why would you want to sit there for 15 minutes of your show and watch this guy reading the paper? He squats one out.
Well, you see, that's what tonight's episode is going to be about. 30 minutes is going to be the ending of the show, and the extra 30 minutes is going to be everybody going to the bathroom.
That would be funny. Just they're all lined up, just waiting for the end of the season.
I mean, if it's supposed to be a day, one episode should be him stopping and having lunch.
Well, shouldn't 8 episodes be him sleeping?
Just toss it and turn him maybe if there's problems.
Half an episode, he's in the shower. Big part of it, he's brushing his teeth.
At what point is he putting some dishes in the dishwasher? Maybe grabbing the paper. Walking the dog.
Well, the worst part of that show is that there's like 20 different subplots going on at the same time. So you're sitting there and you're watching, Kiefer doing his thing.
I thought Kiefer was the worst part of the show.
Well, I mean, he's literally on it for probably like 20 minutes of the entire hour of the show because.
Oh, I always thought it was about him. We thought we were following him.
It is about him, but it's also about his wife, his kid, like some other guys that he works for. Like,
so do you stop and watch the wife and the kid for a while?
Yeah, because like in the first season, and I'm sure I'm not giving this away because it was last year, but the daughter gets kidnapped.
Spoiler alert! Spoiler alert!
The daughter gets kidnapped, and it shows her, but she was kidnapped by guys who worked for him, and it was all intertwined. And it was
maybe when they're showing that stuff, that's when he's on the can.
Right, that's probably what's going on there.
And when he's stopping to have a sandwich.
But it just,
what's stupid though? I want to know when he's eating and when he's going in the can.
When they cut back to him, he ought to be coming out of the bathroom with the newspaper under his arm, or maybe wiping his mouth from just having lunch.
And one of the episodes just opens with him going, "Nobody go in there for a while."
And we know what he's been doing while we're watching the kidnappers.
And actually, there is one whole thing about the president. There's this president who, in the first one, he was running for president, and this year, he is the president. So it's like everyone's connected and intertwined, but it shows them in all different ways. So, it kind of gets a little you kind of get a headache from it after a while.
I already have a headache just hearing about it. I can't watch this show. So after this week, all the shows are over.
Yeah.
There's no more shows.
Yeah, then we're into the summer repeats.
Then finally Big Brother starts.
Right. So that's cool. I'll be into that. That I watch. There's shows that I just have never seen an episode of. I watched one episode of ER, and that's been on what, 30 years?
This is in that Buffy was on for 7 seasons.
Wow, Buff.
And was she in high school the whole time, or did she start in junior high?
She's stupid.
I'm almost positive that she was all in high school.
She didn't go to college?
I think she graduated at some point.
I thought it was like a private school. I mean,
How many years you got to go to private school? 7?
No, man, maybe it was prep school, so like she was younger, and
So
then
like junior high and high school combined?
Why would you start a thing and have the teen girl be in 6th grade? That doesn't make sense.
No, she was in high school in the movie. She's going to be in high school when the show starts.
And then no one's going to go, all right, we'll start her as a 4th grader in case the show runs for 8 years.
In case we really have something here.
We'll have a hot chick at the end.
Well, wasn't it also senior in high school, the movie? I remember it wasn't like the prom. That was like the big scene where all the vampires were trying to kill her.
I guess she's been in medical school for 8 years.
Now she's Dr. Slayer. Dr. Buffy.
What's she doing? Listen to Slayer all the time? That's the first thing I'd be doing.
That she loves so much? So 7 years, I caught one Buffy, saw girls getting punched in the face and turned it off.
Let me tell you something. If you'd have come over to my house, you'd have saw girls getting punched in the face.
I get it enough in my real life. I didn't need to watch it on TV.
I need a spy report.
Spy report. Spy report.
866-277-4969. If anybody saw this stupid Buffy the Vampire Slayer, which Rory's now saying the girl started off in 6th grade.
Oh, it might have been like 7th or 8th, but I mean, I think she
You're so wrong. Why? I don't know why you lied.
That was just the interpretation that I got when I actually watched it once, like the way it looked.
Normally, you only watch cross-dressing stuff, right? Does that change the Matrix for you at all?
Not at all, because
that Larry Wachowski.
It doesn't matter. I mean, whatever he does in his private life, that's just
All right, here's our spy report.
Spy report. Spy report.
Mark, what do you got for us, buddy?
Hey, Mark.
We're losing you, pal.
Oh, Mark clicked off.
He panicked.
He couldn't handle it. I think he got slayed.
He got slayered out, man.
866-277-4969.
I will take a break. We're right back. It's Run Fest.